The free credit reports have been extended until 2022, April 2022 to be more specific. And it's due to all of the stuff that took place in 2020. I don't have to go into, what all went on in 2020, but there's a lot of people who felt on hard times, and because of it, certain things had to be incorporated into the practices that many people were following in order to benefit those who were affected. That said, they made it to where reports were free in general. Typically, a person can get an annual free credit report once a year. Now, in addition to that being extended, instead of them just being able to get it once annually, they've been able to get it, pretty much weekly, and it being extended to 2022. It has also been proposed, watch this, wait for it, that we as consumers get permanent free credit reports. Let me know in the comments what you think about that, and I'll let you know my perspective when I think deep about it. Now, as it relates to the credit reports and what you get from annual credit report, it's only the report. What's on your report? What's showing up on your report? It's not the score. So it's not the actual FICO that you may be looking for. It's not even the Vantage score that has pretty much everything that's on the FICO, but it just kind of breaks it down and it's a little less expensive. And many people use the Vantage score when they're using Credit Karma, when they're using Smart Credit, when they're using Identity IQ, when they're using a lot of the different systems that are out there. That's usually the Vantage score. If a person wants the FICO score, they'll be better off using myfico.com, which usually comes free with many credit cards. You may have a credit card that offers myfico.com. You can also catch it in the link below. If that's something you're interested in. But basically, the FICO score is what many lenders use in order to determine if your credit is at the level that they require it to be at in order for you to qualify for whatever it is that you're applying for. That's that. Now, the question is, should credit reports be free in general? And keep in mind, scores and reports, you can get, if you buy it, you can get the report and the score all in one place. But just a free report is okay, but not thoroughly enough. But the question is, should it be free to all consumers? I want to know what you think before I start saying what I think, and then you allow my thought process to sway yours. But I'm gonna go ahead and dive into what I think. And I never thought about that. I think about a lot of things, and I can't say I haven't thought about it, but to me, when this was put out there that people are trying to fight for it to be permanent in general, I was like, why isn't it? Because think about it. We got companies that hold our information, and they're a for-profit company. And a lot of times the information that they hold is inaccurate, is in error, is derogatory, hurt our score, and we're affected financially due to the bad record keeping that they may have sometimes, which is why we fight, on the daily, getting stuff deleted off a client's report. These are some letters that'll be going out today, because a lot of this stuff is in error that's on people's report based on some records that they're keeping. Now, the credit system has its benefits, so I'm not to bash and say that it doesn't serve its purpose. However, when you think about it, if somebody else is making money off of your data and it affects the price you pay, which eats into your wealth, affects the interest rates that you pay, which eats into your wealth, can get you disqualified from certain opportunities, including jobs, including promotions, which affects your wealth. That's something to be curious about and something to wonder about, especially if they're profiting off of it. In addition to the main three that you're familiar with, such as Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, there are 50 plus others that are doing the same things that go below the radar because many people don't even know they exist. But they're data collectors as well. They collect your data from all different platforms possible. They're scraping information. They're doing whatever they can to collect your data, because data is of value, meaning it can be sold, it can be monetized, it can be, whatever is doing now in order for them to make profit off of your data. And the key is, even if it's inaccurate. So that's a whole other conversation. So that said, why is it that they can hold on to some information? It can be inaccurate. It can be in error. It can be erroneous. It can be something that's derogatory because it's affecting your credit negatively. It could be old addresses and things that don't fit. It can be misspelled information on your profile. It can be wrong names. It can be all types of personal information that's inaccurate. But they can keep it on there and they can have access to it. Why is it that they can even charge for that? That's a question worth noting. In addition to that, why is it that the consumers don't have access to their own information? If anybody knows how to spell your name, it's you. If anybody knows where you live, it's you. If anybody should know what's showing up on your report, it should be you. How was that in the first place even able to be monetized? But I get it. I understand. We live in a capitalistic society, and I'm not to bash that, but the idea of a free credit report doesn't sound bad because it makes sense for the consumer to have access to that more than somebody else who can just pay anybody to get access to your information. Because we got different companies that pay to get access to your information so they can sell you something, so they can mail you something, so they can do something that eventually puts profits in their pockets. So why don't you have access to it indefinitely? So I believe that it would make sense for a person to be able to get permanent access to their credit report. Now, if they want to continue to sell the scores, then that's a whole nother thing. We got solutions for that as well. But if they can monetize it and get access to it and charge for it, and it's your information, it makes sense for you to be able to keep it permanently. We'll see how that works and how that plays out. But that is a topic of discussion. The extension of the free credit reports up until the year 2022, but also making it permanent. And to me, that makes sense. So, with that being said, let me know what your thoughts are below. This was inspired by an article that I read that was talking about all of those factors, and I just wanted to give you some insight. If you haven't already, be sure to grab your free credit class down below so you can take full advantage of the free credit class where we break down the things you need to understand and know in order to take your credit from where it is now to wherever you want it to go. Get access to that free credit class as well as the crash course. If you see it down below, if it's still there and it's still free, grab it and you'll thank us later. That's all I got for this video. Mr. Smith, signing out.